or The History of a Scoundrel by Guy de Maupassant. Translator unknown. Chapter 4. Duroy learns something. Georges Duroy did not sleep well, so anxious was he to see his article in print. He rose at daybreak and was on the street long before the newsboys. When he secured a paper and saw his name at the end of a column in large letters, he became very much excited. He felt inclined to enact the part of a newsboy and cry out to the hurrying throng, "Buy this, it contains an article by me." He strolled along to a cafe and seated himself in order to read the article through. That done, he decided to go to the railroad office, draw his salary, and hand in his resignation. With great pomposity, he informed the chief clerk that he was on the staff of La Vie Française, and by that means was avenged for many petty insults which had been offered him. He then had some cards written with his new calling beneath his name, made several purchases, and repaired to the office of La Vie Française. Forestier received him loftily, as one would an inferior. "Ah, here you are. Very well. I have several things for you to do. Just wait 10 minutes till I finish this work." He continued writing. At the other end of the table sat a short, pale man, very stout and bald. Forestier asked him when his letter was completed, "Saint-Potin, at what time shall you interview those people?" "At 4 o'clock. Take Duroy, who is here, with you, and initiate him into the business." "Very well." Then turning to his friend, Forestier added, "Have you brought the other paper on Algeria? The article this morning was very successful." Duroy stammered, "No, I thought I should have time this afternoon. I had so much to do, I could not." The other shrugged his shoulders. "If you are not more careful, you will spoil your future. Monsieur Walter counted on your copy. I will tell him it will be ready tomorrow. If you think you will be paid for doing nothing, you are mistaken." After a pause, he added, "You should strike while the iron is hot." Saint-Potin rose. "I am ready," said he. Forestier turned around in his chair and said to Duroy, "Listen, the Chinese general Li Tengfao, stopping at the Continental, and Raja Tapo Sahib Ramaderao Pali, stopping at Hotel Bishop, have been in Paris 2 days. You must interview them." Addressing Saint-Potin, he said, "Do not forget the principal points I indicated to you. Ask the general and the Raja their opinions on the dealings of England in the extreme East, their ideas of their system of colonization and government, their hopes relative to the intervention of Europe and of France in particular." To Duroy he said, "Observe what Saint-Potin says. He is an excellent reporter, and try to learn how to draw out a man in 5 minutes." Then he resumed his work. The two men walked down the boulevard together, while Saint-Potin gave Duroy a sketch of all the officials connected with the paper, sparing no one in his criticism. When he mentioned Forestier, he said, as for him, he was fortunate in marrying his wife. Duroy asked, what about his wife? Saint-Martin rubbed his hands. Oh, she is beloved by an old fellow named Vaudrec. He dotes upon her. Duroy felt as if he would like to box Saint-Martin's ears. To change the subject, he said, "It seems to me that it is late and we have two noble lords to call upon." Saint-Martin laughed. "You are very innocent. Do you think that I'm going to interview that Chinese and that Indian? As if I did not know better than they do what they should think to please the readers of La Vie Française. I have interviewed 500 Chinese, Prussians, Hindus, Chileans, and Japanese. They all say the same thing. I need only copy my article on the last comer, word for word, changing the heading, names, titles, and ages. In that there must be no error, or I shall be hauled over the coals by the Figaro or Gaulois. But on that subject, the porter of the hotels will post me in 5 minutes. We will smoke our cigars and stroll in that direction. Total 100 sous for cab fare. That is the way, my dear fellow." When they arrived at the Madeleine, Saint-Martin said to his companion, "If you have anything to do, I do not need you." Duroy shook hands with him and walked away. The thought of the article he had to write that evening haunted him. Mentally he collected the material as he wended his way to the cafe at which he dined. Then he returned home and seated himself at his table to work. Before his eyes was the sheet of blank paper. But all the material he had amassed had escaped him. After trying for an hour, and after filling 5 pages with sentences which had no connection one with the other, he said, "I am not yet familiar with the work. I must take another lesson." At 10 o'clock the following morning he rang the bell at his friend's house. The servant who opened the door said, "Monsieur is busy." Duroy had not expected to find Forestier at home. However, he said, "Tell him it is Monsieur Duroy on important business." In the course of 5 minutes, he was ushered into the room in which he had spent so happy a morning. In the place Madame Forestier had occupied, her husband was seated writing, while Madame Forestier stood by the mantelpiece and dictated to him, a cigarette between her lips. Duroy paused